So guys, I got something very special today. I'm going to test ride a Kawasaki Ninja ZX10R 2030 model. Right there. Yeah, I've never ridden one of these, so let's see how it goes. Oh yeah. Feels pretty good. Oh, I've got to get used to this guy. Now this is a 2013 model. It's brand new. Well, it's about 2 months old. Yeah, the clutch is different. It's all different. But I'll get used to it quickly. Yeah. This thing also backfires. Plenty of power, just like you'd expect. Now I'm going to take it a bit easy. I don't want to crash this bike. Yep. Nice and smooth. Feels good. It's very different than the Fireblade. It feels different. It feels a little bit, I wouldn't say mushier, but a little bit softer. Everything's a bit softer, like the clutch, the gears, everything feels a bit softer. The Fireblade feels a little bit more mechanical and more tight. But it's very nicely balanced. I could feel that right away. Now this bike certainly doesn't have more power down low than the Fireblade. I think it has more power up top, but certainly down low it doesn't. And of course I'm not opening up full, but just what I can feel in the lower rev range. But I'm sort of getting used to this now. It already feels like I've been riding it forever. It's a really comfortable bike. The seat is nice. Nice and firm, not too firm. The seat feels a little bit firmer than the Fireblade, just a bit. And I love this instrument. This GP style instrument is really nice. This one here, this is really nice. This bike has traction control, all the electronics, ABS, wheelie control. So I think that concludes the short test ride. enough to get an impression of the ZX10. I must say I love it. Feels great. Really nice there. Very comparable to the Fireblade. Very similar, in my opinion. What do you think? What do you think? What did you notice? What's different?
Straight away, what's better and what's worse?
Yeah,
First thing, the gearbox on the Honda is better than the Kawasaki. I'm talking about the gearbox.
What you mean, the way it shifts or the actual gearbox?
The way it shifts.
Okay.
The engine itself, I prefer the Kawasaki.
Okay.
The way it
works?
It's backfiring now. Like
Yeah.
normally.
Yeah.
It's going boom, you know.
Yeah.
But the way the engine actually feels,
yeah.
the smoothness of the engine, I prefer the Kawasaki.
Okay.
To ride, very easy to ride.
Yeah.
Similar.
They're very similar, aren't they? So that concludes our test ride of the Kawasaki Ninja ZX10R 2013. Thanks. So I'm back on the blade now. I have to get used to my own bike again. Now, what I noticed instantly, oh, something hit my visor. Damn, lucky I had the visor down. Something you'll notice instantly when comparing these two bikes is the Honda is much more compact here. There's much less bike here. The Kawasaki is longer, like this, there's more, it goes further out. So I'd say the Fireblade is a more compact bike. You know, you could probably even notice it on the video. This is really small here. It's like a 600 up front. You know, and I must say I like that. You know, I like compact. But you know, it's an awesome bike, the ZX, and you know, you can't just you can't just hop on a bike, on someone else's bike, and you know, get, you know all about it in 5 minutes. You know, on a main road. You know, that's not it. You'd need to have the bike for a whole day. Take it out where it belongs. You know, on some nice twisties and high-speed curves. You know, and really use the thing, and then you'd get it, and then you'd know what the bike is. But you can take a bike out quickly and just get an impression of it. You know, that's you can do that in 5 minutes, like, you know, just to get a feel of, you know, how you sit on the bike. Now, before I had this Fireblade, I actually had an R1. And surprisingly, this Kawasaki kind of reminds me of that R1. Not so much the handling, but just the general feel of it, you know? And when I got off the R1 and onto the Fireblade, onto this Fireblade, this blade felt very stiff, if you know what I mean. It felt very mechanical somehow, you know, the clutch and everything was very kind of tight and mechanical. And you know, I thought it was just, well, you know, the bike's new, but that appears not to be it. It appears that the Fireblade is actually a little bit more tighter in most places, like the shifting the gears. It's much more decisive. The gear shifting on the Fireblade is more decisive. You can actually feel it go click. You know, you know exactly where it is. On the ZX10, the gears appear to me, at least, to be a little bit mushy. You know, I don't mean in that really in a negative way, but just kind of, you can't feel where the gear is. It's you know, you're kind of going off instinct. It's not quite as decisive as the Blade. But as we all know, the ZX10 is a beast. It's a monster of a thing, and you know, if you dare to take the revs up higher, it's just a dragon. It certainly has more horsepower than the Blade up top, you know, in the higher rev range. But I would dare to say that the Blade actually has more torque down low. You know, your normal street riding, you know, your 4 to 7k, you know, around that area. The power for me feels smoother on the Fireblade, and maybe just slightly more torque. You know, now, of course, that might just be because I'm used to this bike and all of that, but you know, other guys have said that too. Also tests, there's a lot of tests being done, and almost all the magazines agree that you know, the Fireblade has the, you know, the best power curve for, you know, for street use, for riding around town and twisties and that kind of thing. Whereas, you know, on the track it's a completely different story, and you know, that's why so many national leader races, you know, SBK, that sort of thing, British Superbike Championships, etc. You know, they're all, you know, infested with Kawasaki's. It's like, you know, 10 to 1, like 10 Kawasaki's, and then you get a Honda or a Yamaha. So certainly, you know, for track days and racing and that kind of thing, you know, the ZX10 is the machine, definitely. And of course the ZX10 is lovely to look at. I mean, look at this thing. It's yeah, it's fucking gorgeous. I mean, it looks really aggressive. It's sharp, menacing. You know, the Honda looks more conservative, and that's just the path that Honda has taken. You know, they don't. Honda is not into the aggressive thing. So you can see the ZX10 is really sharp. The front around the light area, it's like a, you know, like a rocket, like a space shuttle. Everything is square on it, you know, almost nothing round on it. So it's really, really sharp. And a lot of guys like that. I like that too. The Honda is much more round and you know, but at the same time the Honda is you know, more timeless. The design is more timeless, so you know, when you get it, you're never going to get tired of it. So we've come to a secret place here. We've come to our secret place here where they have such good food. I'm going to have a Wiener Schnitzel. We are going to have some Wiener Schnitzels. We're going to talk about this.
You're saying that,
yeah.
If I test rode that and
yeah.
test rode this, I would have bought this.
Okay.
This felt better.
Yeah.
Maybe because I ride it.
Yeah.
It just feels better.
Yeah, you have to, and I'm thinking the same, but you got to take that bias out. You know, the thing you used to.
More cockpit on the Kawasaki, have you noticed?
What I noticed is on the Kawasaki, there's a lot more here.
Yeah, there's more at the front.
There's more at the front. Absolutely.
Like,
big time.
This is more like a Ducati.
Yeah.
All you see is the front wheel.
Yeah, on this everything. This is like a 600. Everything is kind of here, and this has a lot of this stuff at the front.
Like that, you know?
That's fine.
Like,
that's fine.
Ducatis are more like the Honda.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get a Schnitzel. Let's get a Wiener Schnitzel.